areas which should be optimized from a business point of view or from a company point of view. And those parameters are quality, speed, efficiency, optimization, sustainability, environmental concern. So basically, we can say that the organizations focus on three P's, and the three P's are people, profit, and planet, right? So whenever we talk of business excellence, so the business excellence always revolves around the three P's, which are people, profit, and planet. Manishi, can you please mute the participants? There is a lot of disturbance at the back. Thank you, Manishi. Thank you. Yeah. So whenever we talk of business excellence, there are three P's which we talk of, and the three P's are people, profit, and planet. And all the three P's are circled around these parameters, which I'm showing on my slide. Uh, Nowadays, we are quite often hearing this term data science, right? Data science is a very common term which we listen daily in our life, and we can see that the colleges has started a new program, especially BTech in data science. So data science is the science of data which is required by all the organizations across the globe. Now, if we see in 20th century, the business decisions were taken based on the opinion, right? There was some senior person who was that senior person may be the chairman of a company or the managing director or the chairman of the board of governors, right? So whatever he thinks in his own perspective is right. So that decision was given to all the employees of the companies, and there was no support, no data support for the decision which was taken, right? So we can say that the business decisions were based on opinion rather than data analysis, because there was no justification, no counter argument that why that the decision has been given to the company to follow. So it was not based on any data support, right? It was just based on that experience or personal choice, we can say that, and it is more or less based on the opinion. We know that these opinion based decisions are very risky and may lead to incorrect decisions because they are not based on any justification, they are not supported by any data, right? So they can be very risky. So business analytics was used to improve the quality of decision making, and it was used in tune with data analytics. So every organization has some performance measure tools, and those performance measure tools are profitability, right? So all organizations have a single goal to have to make profit. So profit is one of the key indicator for the performance of an organization. The second indicator or the tool is the sales growth. If an organization has a good sales growth, then we can say that the organization is doing well. It is in right hands. The third indicator is the ROI, which stands for return on investment. The fourth indicator or the tool can be the customer satisfaction, since the organizations are basically providing any kind of goods and services to the customer, right? And so the main aim of organization is that the customer should be satisfied, because organization knows that if the customer will be satisfied, only then they will come back to the organization and they will stick with the organization. Otherwise, nowadays customers have got many choices. They have got many alternatives, right? If an organization is not providing the required kind of support to the customer, customer will go to the other organization for their commodities and for their services. And there can be many other factors for measuring the performance of the organization. Here I would like to highlight one code which was given by management guru, and the name is Edward Deming. He said that in God we trust, all others must bring data. So if we see on this quote, right, it clearly says that it's true that we trust in God. God is there, we have to trust God, right? So we trust in God, but for all other decisions, for all other things, there must be data to justify our statement, right? We trust in God, but for all other, we must bring data, right? So we should have data in support of our justification, in support of our decision. This is the meaning of this quote. Now, if we talk of analytics, analytics is a body of knowledge consisting of statistical, mathematical, and operational research techniques. So we can say it is a body which consists three entities. The first one is statistics, the second one is mathematics, and the third one is the OR techniques. And if we dig it further down, we can say that analytics is contained in AI technique, specifically the machine learning and deep learning, and a data collection and a storage method. Data management processes are also there, which can have extraction, transformation, and loading, computing, and big data techniques. So all these things make up one body of knowledge which is known as analytics. So analytics is not a very simple entity, right? It makes up of all these things. And analytics is very important, especially for the organizations, because it helps the organizations to create value by solving problems efficiently and assisting in decision making. So we can see over here that analytics is the focus of all organizations, because the main aim of any organization is to solve problems, and those problems should be solved effectively, and those solutions should help the organizations in making the decision at the right time. Making the decision at the right time is very important, right? So organizations will be able to make the decision at the right time only when they will have sufficient data to come to that decision point. And all these things is possible only with the help of analytics. Now, if we talk of artificial intelligence, it is a very common term which we talk of maybe daily these days, right? And we are surrounded by AI applications. The first thing when we wake up in the morning, right? I think most of us used to check our sleep patterns. So in our mobiles, we have got different type of apps which can tell us what was the sleeping pattern we had in the last night, right? So you can see that the first thing which normally people do in the morning is to check the sleep patterns through the app, and it is done with the help of AI. The next thing, when we start from home, usually for going to any destination, we use the Google Maps. Wherever we want to go, suppose if the destination or if the place where we are going is new to us, we are going for the first time, all of us will just enter the destination in the Google Map, and then this Google Map will show us the route from our source to the destination. It will even tell us how much time it will take to reach the destination. This is another example of artificial intelligence. Years back, we could not even think of that an app will be there which will assist us, which will help us to reach to a destination. We can even, the app will even tell us the accurate time, the ETA, the time at which we will arrive at the destination. And I think most of us have felt that there is a minor difference, only of a minute or 2 minutes between the ETA, which is shown at the starting point, and the time at which we reach the destination. So we can see that how accurately these apps are, and they are giving us this decision based on multiple parameters. We can say that based on multiple criterias, the conditions of the roads are considered while giving the estimate time to reach the destination. The traffic density is also taken in consideration, and there are other factors also. So all these factors are taken into consideration, and then the AI is giving us the accurate time at which we will reach the destination. The next example of AI, which all of us use at our home, is the Netflix. I'm sure that all of us use this application of Netflix, and in Netflix, we have seen that we have got a recommendation system. Manishri, could you please mute the participants? Thank you. In the Netflix, right, we have seen that if I watch a movie yesterday and the movie is a critic movie or a drama movie, right? So the similar kind of or action movie, so the similar kind of preferences, right? So what the Netflix do, it takes my preferences, right, based on the movie which I have watched in the past, and then it will give me recommendations. It will suggest me number of movies which are matching to my taste. If I have seen action movies in the past, then it will suggest me a series of action movies. If I've watched some English movie, then it will suggest me English movies to watch, right? So all these are based on the artificial intelligence. So they are taking the preference, the choice of the customer, and then they are recommending it to the customer so that the customer should not go to some other service or to some other app. Alexa is also there, which all of us are using nowadays at home. So it is just like a kind of friend. Whatever question you want to ask to Alexa, you will get a reply. Even if you want to listen to a song, you just have to tell Alexa that, okay, play this song. If you want to know the temperature of the day, the weather of the day, you just have to ask for the temperature of the day, right? So all these answers are pre-built in Alexa. So all these are examples are the all these are the examples of artificial intelligence, AI, in our daily life. So since we are talking of artificial intelligence, so I thought it is a good idea if we give a formal definition of AI. So if we look on this slide, so the AI was termed in 1956 by an American scientist named of John, and he defined AI as the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. So if I repeat the definition, it says the AI is the science of making intelligent machines, right? So AI is the science of making intelligent machines, the science through which we can make the machine intelligent. Artificial intelligence is the science through which we can make the machine intelligent. And if I say making the machine intelligent, it means that the machine should behave like a human being, right? The machine should act like a human being. So for this, we require to give input to the machine, which is usually called a training data set. So all those conditions, all those situations which a human being will face, all those situations, all those conditions are given as input to the machine, and then we train the machine to behave like a human. So this is the definition of artificial intelligence. Now in this slide, I will go deeper into the AI and will discuss three terms. So the first term is the AI, which is the superset, I can say that. And we have just discussed that algorithms and systems that have human-like intelligence. So artificial intelligence can be defined as algorithms or systems that have human-like intelligence, right? So they are there. We can say that artificial intelligence are systems which are at par with human beings, right? So those machines, those systems will act as a human being will act in a particular situation. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence that can learn or transform a task with extracted data or models. So machine learning is a subset of AI. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Now further, if we talk about deep learning is a further subset of machine learning, that functioning of human brain to solve problems, right? So we have got three levels. At the top level, the superset, we have the AI. Next, we have the machine learning. And at the core of this, we have got the deep learning. AI, ML, DL, deep learning. And we know that all these things are required for a business context. When I say a business context, the example which comes to my mind is big basket, right? So all of us are very familiar, and normally we do purchase of our groceries and vegetables on the uh, big basket platform, right? So the big basket platform has got a special we can say that option of smart basket. So whatever purchase we have done in the past, it will give me a recommendation, right, based on my past purchases, that these are the items which I have purchased last time, maybe a month back, and do you want to go with the same list? So I don't have to choose each and every individual item again, because that takes a lot of time, right? So we can see that all these organizations are using artificial intelligence. Big Basket is just one example, right? And there can be many other examples for our Netflix, right? If you log on to Amazon Prime, the channel, if you log on to YouTube, right? So whatever we have watched in the previous times, right, in the previous interactions with the YouTube or with the Amazon Prime, all those similar kind of suggestions, recommendations are given to us because the YouTube channel or the Prime Amazon Prime channel, they know about our taste. What do we like, right? So because nowadays nobody wants to waste any time. We want what actually we want to see what actually we like, right? We don't have any time to navigate and then do that searching and then come out with as per our taste, right? So we want that at the first instance everything should be everything should be shared to us as per our choice. So this is one of the example of the business context. Here I would like business context, right? There is another quote which I would like to highlight here by Dean Snyder, and the quote says that go down deep enough into anything and you will find mathematics. A very good quote which is very close to my heart. It says that if you go down deep enough into anything, if you dig it down, if you go to the bottom of anything, you will find mathematics is there. You will find mathematics is there. And I think this is very true. When we started our education in, I can say that in primary school, right? Or in maybe play school, right? So we had mathematics as a separate subject. Maths was there, English was there, language was there. So all these subjects were separate subjects. But once we go to the higher classes, once we go to the engineering, we saw that nothing is impossible without mathematics. Nowadays, you can see that even economics is based on mathematics, right? So if you go deep down in anything, you will find mathematics is there. You can't skip, you can't overcome this mathematics. So this quote is very, I think, true and very valid. Without mathematics, you can't do anything, right? If you look at marketing, if you look at any field, you have to have a basic understanding of mathematics and all those models, all those simulations, right? All those techniques, they are based only on one thing, that is mathematics. Now, if we see this slide, right? So this slide talks about what the world is saying about data science as a career. So in this slide, I have tried to put uh, some of the sayings about data science as a career. If you see, the Economic Times quotes it as the job with the hottest prospects. This is the saying of the Economic Times. And the Hindu quotes that there will be a shortage of 2 lakh trained data analysts in India. Best, the CNN says, best new job in America. So you can see that across the globe, right? Across the globe, all the countries are focusing on one thing, that is the data science. Data science is the core. All the careers, all the job opportunities will only revolve around data science. That is the reason that data science has become an important subject and it is taught in all the programs. So here I would like to just pause and show a video clip which is based on AI, artificial intelligence. So I will just swap my screen. Just give me a minute. Can you see the screen, Manish ji? Is it visible? Manish ji, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Thank you, thank you. So I'm just playing this video. Yeah, it will just take a minute, right?